If you'd like to sponsor Still Got Game, give us a call at 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Still Got Game, episode 499. Still Got Game's official podcast of tooltoplay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Chris Selden, 007 Selden.
Yeah, we're short a few hosts going into the final stretches of episode 500.
Yeah, they're all getting their scripts ready. They're practicing. They're practicing their 500.
I hope so. We have some special guests also joining us for episode 500. I won't ruin who they are, but we have some of them showing up as well. So
nice.
It should be a very, very fun episode, if nothing else.
That or a complete disaster.
One or the other. But this week it's just you and me. So I guess we'll just jump right in the show proper, because we know that these episodes don't go more than 45 minutes or so.
We blast through when there's just the two of us. So
yeah, we need more conflicting voices. Well, why don't we start off with the mailbag for feedback and questions from our last episode? And if you have feedback or want to contribute to this episode live, just drop something in chat and we'll try to work it in. And remember, our voicemail will cut you off after a minute. Pro Cinder comments. Thanks for fielding my PSVR 2 question last episode. D-Smooth convinced me by putting his own money down, so I followed suit with my own pre-order. Welcome to the party, pal.
I think it's a mistake.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I've been following. There's been some crap going on over at Facebook Meta with the Quest 2 and everything else that's going on.
VR, but
they're
Sony's
dropping
doubling
VR.
down on it. Yes.
Yeah, Meta is. They announced that they're shutting down servers on a couple different games. One of them in particular is that Echo VR, which is their esports, their shining star of a game that has a pretty good following on. My son plays it. He was in some of the leagues and stuff like that. They have they do have like regular e-leagues and stuff like that, esports leagues going on with it, and they're going to be closing that down August 1st, and it threw that community uproar and demanded answers and everything like that, and it's not looking good, because then like a day later, Meta came out and said, listen, we've lost $24 billion in the VR marketplace in the last 2 years. And we're looking to restructure and start to scale back and, try to see if we can make this economically, feasible to continue. So,
well, they were selling their goggles at a loss and everything else. So,
yeah, I don't know, man. It's scary once they drop that $24 billion in 2 years, and they were the big player. I'm like, besides them and, the HTC Vive, and I mean, those were the two big guys in the marketplace for the headsets. And if they're scaling back and shutting down servers for popular games, I don't know if this is writing on the wall for VR, but I mean, I guess it's we'll see what PSVR comes out, and when we get the Apple VR, and once we start bridging these in the AR realms, maybe the marketplace can continue.
There's plenty of newcomers to the market coming through. So I bought the bundle, pre-ordered the bundle for PSVR 2 that came with Horizon, whatever. And then I've pre-ordered the Star Wars game, and I'll probably pick up a couple others for this. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that they add that fuel to the fire to get it going again. But, I'm starting to worry a little bit about the VR space. So.
Yeah,
there was even rumors that PlayStation had like cut back production on the PSVR because they didn't get the pre-sales that they were looking for. PlayStation came out and announced that and said, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's hard to believe when things are going the way they are right now. So we'll see.
I guess,
but that's coming up soon. Yeah, the release is coming
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah,
I think it's the 21st, somewhere around there. So
yeah.
So we'll see. But I'm excited. So, all right. Next up, Eoydum or Eoydum comments. I just wanted to tell you guys how excited I am for you to hit episode 500. I'm one of those people who started listening only a couple years ago, but went through all of your back episodes.
Oh,
Masochist.
Yes.
Yes.
It's funny. The analyst accountant part of me looked at that and said, "End of the year, dumb." Well, I'm like, "What the hell's end of the year, dumb?"
Nice.
But EOY dumb, EO dumb. Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, well, thanks, man. Thanks for listening to the back catalog and catching up to episode 500 next episode.
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty baller. So, much appreciated. Next up, Frolic Claw 91 asks, are you guys planning on doing any big giveaways for episode 500? Probably not.
Let's see. I have a HDMI cord around here somewhere. It might be used.
Yeah, our budget's pretty low for episode 500. Who knows? Maybe I'll dig through my archives and see if I have any Steam keys to give away or anything, but I can't see how. So, yeah, I would
duplicate pop toys or anything.
I would expect this to be more of a celebration of people joining the show versus giving away prizes. But that was cute, Frolic Law. Yeah, it's been a while since we gave away anything. But maybe
it's hard to give away on our show because our live audience is very limited. And the giveaways are something you want to do live. You can't do a show and then say, okay, we'll pick a winner next week. Well, it's episode 501. I'm like,
yeah, no. Then it's like, why did we even do that? Yes. So, no, probably not, but thanks for the comment. And last but certainly not least, Altius asks, I've been submitting questions to your show for a long time. Do you prefer questions regarding hardware, games, or the games industry itself? I've never asked, but have submitted all three types in the past.
I like the mixed bag of questions. It's always, you never know what's coming out of left field with them. And
every once in a while, hits like, that's a dumb question. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's like. Yeah, you do provide a good variety, Altius. I guess I also like the variety. I do like the games industry questions. But the variety kind of changes it up because a lot of people are not tuned into those questions. So at least it gives them a chance week to week to get something that interests them, I guess.
Yeah, I think, definitely. It's, something that we can answer to is always, preferable.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Not something.
Don't ask us about deep German video game cuts from 1982 because we won't know those answers. But yeah, I mean, I'm open for anything, and I can usually answer something even if it's completely wrong when I answer. So
that's almost all the time. You just make it up on the fly. We know this. We can go back historically and see this. It's quantifiable. But
I'll even sometimes quote the wrong game.
Yeah, but you sell it like it is the fucking truth, Selden. You're like, and yes, J.K. Rowling is a good person. And you're like, is she though?
That's a hard to sell.
No, maybe that's a little too absurd, but yes. Yeah. So, all right. Well, thanks for the question, Altius. We have no good answer for you. Just keep keeping it interesting. And if any of you else have comments, questions, feedback for us to discuss during this segment, give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. And on that, why don't we hop on over what we're playing? Selden, what have you been playing this week?
I have been playing, I got a lot of Call of Duty. I finished up the main campaign, finally went back and got through it all.
Played a little then.
Yeah. It was disappointingly short, in my opinion. When I look back at all the time that I actually, dedicated to it, it wasn't a lot of time. So It
Then
was a
maybe
little
I'll go back
disappointing.
to it then.
Yeah, it played a lot shorter than I thought it was going to. But once again, most of my time spent in the DMZ. I'm really still loving that play type. I've had some genuinely fun interaction with randoms that you join in that game and play through the game,
Oh,
which is unusual because usually randoms it gets pretty hairy and it's usually degrades
unfun.
into name
Yeah.
calling and
Yeah.
shit talk and all that stuff. But this game is actually it's a good community of people out there that are playing this game. You're always going to get one or two guys that are just dumbasses and run off and do their own thing, but a lot of the time I'm getting really good interaction with guys and stuff like that. I'm like, damn, that was a fun time. I actually had a lot of time, a lot of
Nice.
fun in those games. um Working through the season pass on that and also jumping into Fortnite every now and then, trying to finish up the season pass. Your guy is coming this week to Fortnite. The
Kevin
fuck,
Smith.
no, the vampire hunter guy. Ah, fuck.
Oh, from Vampire Survivors.
No,
Oh,
I'll figure it out later.
Van
um,
Helsing.
um, God damn it! Why can't I remember who's coming?
Nosferatu.
No, the skins are coming this week. Ignore me. Anyways, we're going on.
Oh, I'll ignore
I'll
you.
come. I'll come back to it once I look it up. Also, what dropped last week or the week before was NBA All World, which is Niantic's new augmented reality game that we talked about probably about a year and a half ago that they were developing. Actually, it turned out it's actually a pretty fun little integration of their augmented reality. It's once again, it's based on the same map and the same stops and stuff like that. But it's got a lot of fun mini game basketball this to it. It's you do around the world or 3-point shots or first to five or you go one-on-one against guys. It actually plays pretty interesting and a lot of the big names in there. The soundtrack on it is actually phenomenal. I'll have it just playing the soundtrack in the background sometimes just because it's good music that's on it. So if you haven't checked it out, it's once again it's a free download. You should download it and try it out.
Not gonna
No,
happen. No,
no,
I didn't even turn the volume on my phone for anything. Do you play with volume on?
I do. This got a good soundtrack on it, man. The music's good. It's
Well,
pumping. It's happening.
do people need to be at these Basky stops to do these games against them?
Actually, they brought in a lot of not location based stuff to it.
Oh,
They have these tournaments that you can join from different arenas around the country, but you have to get the arena pass at one of the stops. You spin it, you get a pass, and then
yeah,
randomly these tournaments will open within the game that you can join into.
yeah,
But you don't have to actually be at the physical location for them.
yeah.
Um,
This novelty of going places and doing stuff in games, it was cute at the time, but I'm done with it.
Yeah, well, they've made a good integration into it because then they also have like these little warm up games. Like if you've walked 20 meters, you open up the first warm up for the day, and they reset like every 6 to 8 hours or something like that. So you do get to
Hmm.
play some games without actually having to physically ever leave your house. So
Yeah.
it makes it
Because
a
a
little
lot
bit
of
more
us go to
interesting.
work and then we do stuff, and all of us just sit at home on our ass and
Yeah,
fake work from home. Um, yeah.
but other than that, like the other games that dropped this week is Hi-Fi Rush and GoldenEye dropped also. I played both those for a little bit. Hi-Fi Rush was actually one of those stealth drops from the Microsoft show
Oh
that
yeah.
they had, and it's a top-notch title. I think I really enjoyed it. I'm played through up until a certain point, and I just kind of stepped away from it because I had to get back to my season passes. But I'll be going back to that game definitely.
Did
So
you do any boss battles yet?
I've done a couple, yeah.
Okay. I feel like the level length to boss battle is slightly too long. Like, I'd like to be able to play and beat a boss and then put it down and go do something else for a while. But that first, to get to the boss battle is probably 45 minutes or so to
Yeah.
go against Rekka.
Right. And
So
it's funny because you're not even like really through the tutorial at that point because
no, you're
that's
still mid tutorial all the way to the boss. Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because I got up on my first playthrough, I beat her, and then I got up to the point where you learn the parry maneuver, and
Okay, yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I just learned this now. I've been playing this game for like an hour and a half.
I
I'm
already had a
like,
boss fight. Yes, yeah, yeah. So,
so,
uh,
but
yeah,
it's that cell shadedness. It's got that skater feel to it.
skater anime kind of thing. Yep.
Yeah, so it's definitely it's a great title for a stealth release and to
Free
drop
on
on
Game
Game Pass
Pass.
like it is, and
Yeah,
yeah, it was awesome. So I was happy with it.
yeah. And you mentioned GoldenEye. That's another right to Game Pass title. And if you have the Rare Replay collection, when this dropped, you got that added to your permanent
Yeah,
games collection for free. So once it comes off a Game Pass, you still own it. So
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, it was good getting back into GoldenEye. I played through all the way through the dam mission.
Mm.
So I got through it quite a ways, but yeah, it was definitely a good throwback to the original game. The nostalgia kind of wore off kind of quickly. It was
Mm.
fun, but it was just like I'm like, oh man, the graphics. I wish they would have just reskinned some stuff or something, but nope, they gave it to us raw. So
Did you do any couch co-op?
no, I did not
That's
yet.
see, that's really where it's gonna shine for you. Everybody in odd job crouching, and yeah, no.
What about you, Derek? Besides Hi-Fi Rush and GoldenEye, what else you've been
Well,
playing?
yeah, I played Hi-Fi Rush through the first mission there, and I've been kind of holding off. Played some GoldenEye. GoldenEye is way harder than I remember, but I think that's because of the looseness of the controls. And there's some things you can turn off, like you can turn off the gun shake and some stuff. You can also play, if you want to go old school retro N64, you can switch to playing single stick, single
Oh,
analog stick mode with the D-pad. I haven't tried that yet, but it's been fun and I've been enjoying that. Played a bunch of Fall Guys because that's like my side go to, and then Vampire Survivors is my number one go. 6 different major publications game of the year from last year, and I just keep banging through this and opening up these rare achievements, and that game is so phenomenally designed. It may look like shit, but uh, the gameplay loop is fantastic, and I'm still getting to new things and unlocking stuff and finding difficult challenges and really enjoying it. So yeah.
now is it always just a giant flat map? Like do you ever go anywhere besides like a giant garden?
There's some maps that actually have paths that you have to follow,
Okay.
which makes the game much harder because you're used to being able to just like move out of
Go
the way
everywhere.
of shit and go back and move out of the way. So when you actually have to follow a path and there's shit going on, those maps get really hard, and especially in the expansion, that's really what they've doubled down on. So, but yeah, I'm still unlocking achievements almost on a daily basis there. Like and most of them pop up with the rare achievement sound. So yeah.
Are you playing this with your backbone on your phone, or are you actually playing this on a
No,
TV?
this is like when I'm not here in my office. This is one of my 2 games, like in the family room TV couch
Ah.
style, not competitive, like fucking losing my mind style fucking shooters. So that's just like my casual, like, dinner's on if I'm eating dinner that day.
Yeah.
Uh, and I go out there and just kick out some casual fucking Vampire Survivors. So yeah. Uh, but yeah, that's about it. Vampire Survivors, Fall Guys, Hi-Fi Rush, and GoldenEye.
Yeah, it's interesting that you said GoldenEye is harder than you remember. I go back to say that the games used to be fucking hard. They weren't
Yeah.
fucking pussyfooting around shit. They made it fucking hard. The games were not easy back in the day.
No, no, you start
And
you start GoldenEye the very first level, and you're kind of like in this little alcove garage, and as soon as you turn the first corner, you start taking fire. Like, and you're like, oh shit, this is how it's gonna be. Yes.
yeah, because you just look back at like even like your Pitfall. It was you go back at Pitfall. It wasn't a fucking easy game. I'm like it was like there. your jumps had to be pixel perfect on the game and
Oh
stuff
yeah.
like that. You go back to Pac-Man. Pac-Man, yeah, the first level was kind of easy, but that fucking shit ramped up super fast,
Oh
super
yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong, I'm like, fuck it.
There were no
You try to drop
saves.
quarters back in the day, you'd be fucking just dropping quarters every 10 minutes.
There was no save games. No,
Yeah,
like when you're done, you're done. And you're like, I gotta start over. Every game was
yeah,
a roguelike. So
yeah. Yeah, it was like Contra was like the first one that started giving you like the codes that you'd have to punch
yeah,
in to get
yeah,
back to the level to start and stuff.
yep, yep,
There was
yep.
no, there was no easy games back in the day, man.
No, so that reminded me how fun and not fun those are. But
Yeah.
I look forward to getting back in GoldenEye and banging through that. I'm gonna try to like I started also. I picked the highest difficulty level, which probably wasn't the best choice. I probably should just gone easy mode first and then come back around and played it again. But yeah, I'm enjoying the shit out of it.
Nice.
All right. Well, on that, why don't we move on over the new releases? This has been kind of extended since we're 2 weeks into the show. So the first new release out last week was Deliver Us Mars. This is out for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. This is a follow-up to Deliver Us the Moon, which was pretty popular a few years back. Not my style of game, but I know a ton of people that love this style of game. I'm actually surprised you don't play these games, Selden.
I did play Deliver Us the Moon,
Yeah,
and I did quite enjoy it. I thought it was fun. It was, that whole survival aspect and building out and stuff like that. If I remember
yeah,
correctly,
yeah.
it's been a long time, but I kind of forgot that this dropped also last week. Deliver Us Mars, with everything else going on. I don't know if I have time to dedicate to it, so I'm probably going to avoid it for a while. But
Okay.
yeah, I know that Deliver Us the Moon won quite a few awards back in the day
Oh,
too.
it
I
did.
think so.
Yes. Yeah.
For indie games and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I might
So,
pick it up.
all right.
So
I figured you would. So I don't remember you playing Deliver Us the Moon, but Deliver Us the Moon, but I figured that would be right up your alley. So yeah.
it was probably
Uh,
one of the many games that I I didn't mention. So,
yes. All right, and
but
the other big new game out this week is controversial on many fronts. Hogwarts Legacy. This is out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, the PC, and I've seen some reviews of this that these are topping the news stories. Like I reviewed Hogwarts Legacy, and here's why. And it's not so there's obviously a lot of anti Hogwarts Legacy because J.K. Rowling is a bigot against trans folks. But the argument that I've heard made against from bisexual folks that are in the game news industry and other folks are, yeah, you know what? So she's the richest author in the world, and that's not going to change from this. But our experience in the Harry Potter universe is now separated from her, and this game is from game developers, and it's out there. And I guess even early on in the game, you meet a trans character in the game. So I feel like they've done a good job separating this from J.K. Rowling, and I don't know, like this.
it's a weird world we're in right now because you can't separate it. Like I understand the artist, the story, they want to be separated from her, and they're putting their heart and soul into the production of making this game, acting the roles, doing what they do. But the PC universe that we live in right now, it doesn't allow that. Um,
And I think that's what these game journalists are fighting for, is to
yeah,
say, hey, we can separate this from the author. This wasn't written by J.K. Rowling. This was written by Warner Brothers and whatever this game studio is that did this. And it may have started with her characters, but now it's completely separate. Like I
yeah.
was so against this game, but now like there was a point today I was almost ready to buy that $80 fucking deluxe edition pre-order. So,
Yeah,
and I
because if you
still
get
may
the deluxe,
tonight.
you could if you get the
You can
deluxe, you can
start
start playing
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but I
You've
looked at it
obviously
like,
thought this through too.
yeah,
Yes.
I've looked at this and like I'm looking at it also. I'm like, eh, an individual like J.K. Rowlins, you have to look at. We had, you look at Disney. Walt Disney was a racist motherfucker, supposedly,
Uh,
back in the day. And if he was today in a position where J.K. Rowlins is, would he be getting protested as much? And probably he would be. And there'd be that stigmatism about any money that you give to Disney is going to racists.
yeah,
And that's what
probably
the
true.
stigmatism with Hogwarts and Harry Potter is, that any money that you give to them is going to J.K. Rowlins and their homophobicness or transgenderness. Hate. It's
But
just,
but but then again, like, does she even notice this extra money over her already billions of dollars?
well, I'm sure she's still looking for that check every time.
I
She
I
just
don't
comes
even
off
think
that way. So.
I don't even think she know this is something that's licensed. It's paid once for the license. It's not like a recurring like percentage deal like you're getting off the back end of movies. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a
I'm
hard
less
subject to
against.
even talk about, because
Yeah,
you're really walking along the border of, are you going to be now on the wrong side
complicit,
of,
complicit with
yeah.
this. Yeah,
So I honestly, I'm probably not picking this up, not because of the social feelings towards the game. I just don't know if it's a game I want to play. It's just,
see, I was in your boat against the game, but seeing more and more um, gaming journalists in the hate zone, then giving it a chance and saying, "Hey, we're not going to let this be our thing." And even, like I said, even the game has a trans character. I
yeah.
don't know what happens 100 hours in, but if you're getting a trans character in the first 2 hours of the game, Warner Brothers Games was like, "Yeah, fuck you, JK. We're in, and we don't give a shit." So maybe I am willing to support this game. So I just don't know.
Yeah, like I've heard a couple people start saying that it's like a reskin Destiny almost too. So it's like I'm not sure if I'm ready to devote that much time into a game
Yeah,
at this point with everything else I have going on right now. So
I hear you. All right. Well, I'll let you know because
yeah,
I'm
if you
I'm
pick it
pretty
up,
much leaning on pre-ordering this in the next 2 hours. So
all right.
so we'll
I think
see.
you should. I think you should pre-order it and let us know how it is.
All right. I'm just the one that buys everything. This game, PlayStation VR 2. I'll just buy it all, Seldon. I'll let you know.
All right.
I'll be
Well, no,
I'll be your
this is on
gatekeeper.
this is on all platforms, right? This
Yeah.
isn't.
So we buy this on Xbox, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, on that, why don't we move on over into gaming news? First story. Phil Spencer says Microsoft will continue to support and grow Halo amid those 343 layoffs. So, yeah. So, obviously, they had a problem with 343 because they fucked Halo up. They laid off a lot of people, kept some people, and then Phil was like, yeah, they got this. Don't worry. They'll hire on some new people that don't suck. This was a weird twist to the story, right?
343 is just such a clusterfuck. They've lost huge players within their company over the last couple of years. I mean, they were dropping from before Halo Infinite.
They were
dropped,
dropping lead
and
designers, and yeah.
like I don't know who the fuck was left there, anyways. I'm like,
Who's
I'm sure there's
worth it?
a couple key players, but like, who's worth it? Microsoft is laying off people left and right, anyways, because coming out of the post-pandemic overhiring that they had to
Yeah.
release a lot of people, unfortunately. And I'm like, and just with everything else, they let 343 be more of a management style than a developer in the Halo series. Let them try to keep the storyline in line, but don't let them fucking touch any programming again.
Yeah, let them be the auteurs.
The story architects or something like that, you know. and just move on. Fuck, they
Yep.
fucked Infinite up. They fucked Halo up. Give it to somebody else.
They
Let them
fucked it
fucking bring it
all
back.
up. Yes.
And I don't care what PR spin they're trying to make it. They fucking cleaned house at 343 of anybody that was still left that didn't
Oh,
need to be there.
yeah. The only thing they
So,
cleaned more house of was their VR and HoloLens departments. So
well, they're
yes.
also their augmented their speech to AI thing.
Oh, okay.
They had the development in there that they closed that all down because I think they're buying somebody else. But
Probably buying Chat GPT or something.
GPT, yeah.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
But
So no, yeah. Fuck 343.
yes, fuck 343. All right, we'll move right on over, if that's all right, to
Oh,
other
absolutely.
Microsoft information. And Microsoft claims Sony is misleading EU regulators over the impact of the Activision Blizzard deal. I was reading more on the story today. Head high up members of Sony have had private meetings with the European Union to plead their case that it's not competitive, or it's going to take away the competitiveness of the market if they let Microsoft take over Activision Blizzard. Once again, they're staking their whole claim based on the fact that they're going to lose Call of Duty. Like,
That's
and
literally the whole thing they're scared of. Yes,
that's
yeah.
what and Microsoft has once again stepped up to the plate, said that they're going to sign a contract if they want a contract to say that they'll keep it around for 10 years at least. And it's stupid for them to pull out of giving Call of Duty to the number one console out there, and which makes sense that you wouldn't want to pull it away from your main money source
No,
from
yeah,
that. So
you need that income.
yeah, it's really
Childish.
it's very childish. It's very, they don't want Microsoft to make any more impact into the marketplace than they already have. Microsoft has made significant steps up through the pandemic in taking market share away from PlayStation.
Oh, and
But
they've
there's
thrown PlayStation bones during this, where they're like, we'll let it stay on your console for X number of years." Like,
yeah. So
I don't.
it's Sony knee jerk reaction that they don't want to lose any kind of market share at all. But Microsoft is looking beyond just the Call of Duty or the console games. They want mobile games out of this. This is one of their biggest things that they keep talking about, but is never brought up. Is console sales are one thing, but mobile's where they want to get their hands in and make some money off of. So
Nope.
I just don't. It's the deal is starting to look a little shaky. I think it's going to come
In the
down to
EU,
in the
definitely
EU.
shaky in the EU.
I think it's
Solid in the
the
US.
solid in the US maybe, but I think I think it's going to come down to the UK, whatever their authority is, the Competitions and Markets Authority out of the UK. I think that's going to be one of the big turning points. So if EU goes antitrust, America goes okay, it's fine, and really falls where UK is going to fall in the grand scheme of things. I think so.
Yeah, I guess. Yep, conceivably. All right,
So we'll see what happens with that.
we shall. Next story. PS5 supply has been increased, and it should be much easier to get one, Sony says. So this I have heard from folks that now it has been easier for them to acquire them, but I don't think this is. I think this is directly connected to the PSVR 2. I think that despite the combined cost of the two, I think that they've now needed to make sure, in order to be successful with the PSVR 2, that there are PlayStation 5s available for someone that is willing to, at a single transaction, buy the two. I can't even imagine this. I did these separately, and the second one still seemed huge. So,
I mean, the PSVR 2 is more expensive than
the
the digital
PlayStation
version
5, yes.
PlayStation, right?
Yeah,
And
yes.
that's a tough pill to swallow to buy both those at once. I thought about it. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll look and see if there's any kind of package. There's no package deals on buying the two of them together. You're still paying full fucking boat for both of them.
Yes, yeah.
So
no, it's definitely not an easy pill to swallow. You should have just sucked up and got the PS5 2 years ago, and then this would seem like child's play,
Yeah.
or not. But, uh,
So and honestly, maybe it's a little easier. I still don't see them on shelves anywhere, and I don't see them popping up on Amazon or Walmart as ready to buy at any point. So
so I have seen them. Like occasionally, we do like a delivery from Walmart because I have
mhm.
Walmart Plus or whatever their bullshit's called. Um, but I do see them on there as readily available.
Oh.
Like I could just get one same day if I wanted. So I do feel like they're a little more readily available, but I don't
Well,
know
maybe
who's buying
not
them.
saying that Boston's any less than New York, but I'm like maybe the market's different down here. That they're not as available because we're just
But
such a higher density.
you're also not in New York, New York. You're on Long Island, New
I
York.
know.
So yes.
Yeah, I'm an hour outside the city. You're almost an hour outside of Boston. So
Yeah, but ours is like one collective area. Yours is the one that gets the lesser supply. Like if you're going to supply New York City, or if you're going to supply one of the major boroughs or Long Island, you would send your
what was that? Boroughs?
boroughs.
Thank
Yes,
you.
yes. We don't call them boroughs here. We call them counties or towns. You guys made up a word to cover your 5 things. So yeah. Yeah. So all right.
All right, we'll stay in the PlayStation genre here. We got PlayStation 5 has updated their the software on their console to finally add Discord voice chat. It's also testing the VRR support of 1440p dashboard X UX improvements and more. I don't think that's the big deal. The community
You just
freaking
wrote that
blew.
off as like I don't think it's a big deal. Yeah, yeah.
That's not, no. The big thing about this story is the Discord voice chat. This was a huge ad for PlayStation
Yeah.
to get the voice chat and Discord integrated into the platform. I still think from what I've seen and heard, that it's still just as cumbersome to get it activated as it is to get to the Xbox activated. But at least it's on there and ready to go, so that now if you are doing cross-platform and you're using Discord chat as your thing, you can now Discord chat not only between PlayStation and Xbox, but you can also bring in the PC world as well. So
Yeah.
the cross-platform functionality of Discord voice chat is there, so that's awesome.
Yeah, this works flawlessly for Fall Guys. And I know Tiff has some friends that are on PlayStation. She's on Xbox, obviously. Well, she could be on PlayStation, but primarily she's on Xbox. But yeah, now they can just jump in their Discord chat, do voice chat, and play cross-platform Fall Guys with zero effort. So yeah, this was a must-have.
Yeah, so good
It's
on
it's the
good on
bridge to
Discord getting there. So.
crossplay. Yeah, crossplay was fine, but if you wanted voice chat on crossplay, there was nothing until this. So
Yeah. Yeah, unless you wanted to do it completely outside of the environment that you're playing in, which is kind of always a pain in the ass. So.
like on your cell phone.
Yeah.
Let's call each other and go on speakerphone, and then we'll play. Yes, yeah, no. All right, next up, Stephanie Economou wins first Game Score Grammy for work on Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So this is hot off the fucking presses. This is a new category in the Grammys for game score work, and we have our first winner. And I think this is going to be the beginning of something huge, because every time we come around the Grammy Awards, there's going to be nominees in this category from X number of games. So it's a nice kickback to people that score games and have always been overlooked. And now it's nice to see them recognized.
Now, okay, a couple things. Now, what is the actual category? Is it strictly in gaming, or is it multimedia? Like
no, it's scoring of a video game.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. I love the fact that they did that. I think that's a huge thing. And too bad all those composers from the original Halo
like
series,
Marty O'Donnell.
Like Marty, like he's like he should have a lifetime achievement, the first lifetime achievement for game scoring, because the guy is phenomenal. And there's been such great people in the past that have done this. So this will be great going forward, and seeing how that does, because a lot of the times you have some people that just drop popular songs in, but a lot of these guys are scoring these things from start to finish, and
Oh,
her
absolutely.
work
Yeah.
is phenomenal, and it's in depth and it's deep, and it's a
Mhm.
lot longer than just a single LP that
Yeah.
that the work that they produce. So I'm all for this award, and I love the fact that they're doing this.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. And a little side note on the Grammys, Viola Davis dropped an audiobook during this past year, and now she is the 18th EGOT winner of all time. So if you've seen Amanda Waller in any of your DC shows, Peacemaker or any of those, she is now one of the 18 of all time EGOT winners ever. So that's Emmy, Grammy, uh,
Oscar,
Oscar, and
Tony.
Tony. Yes, yes. So huge props to Viola Davis. Like there have not been a lot over the all-time history, and she kind of connects with us in the comic book world, but she's transcended an almost unreachable goal. So yeah, kudos to her. On a side note.
Yeah. Now the other thing is I heard today is that I guess when they were announcing this, the host may have slaughtered the name Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh
Is that
yes,
did
yeah,
you
yeah.
see it live? Because I haven't. I
No, I
meant to
didn't
go
see
back
it
and look
live, but I
for it.
heard the same thing. Yes,
I
yeah.
was like,
Mhm.
I'm like, how could you mess up Assassin's Creed? I'm like, oh, it's probably the Valhalla part that she probably screwed up.
Yes, yes, yeah. That's all I can assume as well. So,
Assassin's Creed Valhalla: Dawn of Ragnarok. I'm like, yeah, I can see that you could probably mess that up if you're on stage. So I'll have to find the clip of that and check it out. But
nice.
good. I'm looking forward to this category going forward. I hate award shows in general. There are a lot of pompousness, but I like this that they're bringing this as a category in. So,
Me too.
all right.
Next story.
Oh, let's go with this one: Call of Duty Warzone. Blah, 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 DMV. Wait, where are we? Call of Duty Warzone players caught off guard by DMZ progress wipe updated. This was not a surprise if you follow the genre of game type that this is. If you follow Tarkov or any of those type of games,
Mm,
they do wipe your stuff. And this one's easy because you don't have a lot. Okay, you're losing some of your items, you're losing the ability to have a couple more custom weapons, but you'll earn those back. Most of these games that are like this type of game type, when they wipe worse than Destiny 2 did. Like they take all your shit, they take all your progress. You have no money, you're back to zero. As I said, DMZ is a Tarkov light at best with how
yeah.
they progress with things. So this isn't, it's fake outrage in my opinion if people are saying that they're upset about this. But honestly, I think what the improvements that I've seen that they're going to be making, bringing in season 2 of DMZ is going to be phenomenal. I'm a huge fan of this, and I'm really looking forward to when season 2 drops. Supposedly, we're getting a new map also at the same time,
Nice.
which is huge because I'm like, this map is great as it is, but to bring in another map at this point, I think they're just popping it over from one of the other maps that they had previously. So I think it's going to be good, and hopefully they add a little bit more of the mission based Tarkov esque type items to it, where you have a stash and you collect things to progress further in your missions and stuff like that. So we'll see, but I'm happy about it.
I don't play any of these things, so I don't give a shit. So, all right. Next story. U.S. court dismissed Joy-Con drift lawsuit. So this was a class action lawsuit against Nintendo about how the Switch Joy-Cons would start to drift after an absurdly short amount of time and screw up gameplay. And it was claimed to be a design flaw. But this U.S. court was like, no, whenever it happens, this is what happens when you play something and it gets old and starts getting worked in and this and that and the other thing. So
Yeah, I think the judge based this on, I guess, the end user license agreement.
Yeah,
Within the end user license agreement for the Joy Cons, it
yeah.
specifically has, you know,
Like they
caveats in there
degrade
that
over time,
they
and
make.
yes, yeah,
This is just plastic, jackasses. It's gonna fall apart
yeah, yeah,
eventually.
yeah.
So,
It still seems bullshitty to me, but yeah,
but it's good because I mean, they are controllers are disposable hardware. I mean, you gotta you gotta come to grips with that. Yeah, the way that people play these games, especially like a Joy-Con, which is not the greatest position
no, no.
items in the first place, and you're giving them to 6 and 7 year olds that are fucking spilling cereal and soda and candy and all kinds of other shit on them. They're gonna fall apart. So
No, believe me, I bought the Xbox Premium most high-end controller experience and have burned through 10 of them. So I'm done with that. And I don't spill shit on them. I don't eat food when I use them. I just play games like a badass. So that's why I've moved on. Now I've given up on them and I just use Scuff controllers. These are my new high-end bitches.
we are not
Fun.
sponsored by Scuff, but if they'd like to sponsor us, Scuff, give us
Yeah.
a call.
Yeah, we're not, but it's definitely better than the Xbox Elite Series 2 or Elite Series. We've gone through so many between Tiff and I that it's not even funny, and they're not price cheap. So yeah,
Yeah, I just actually picked up one of the Elite Core editions when it was under $100 off
Mm.
of Woot.
No, that way
So
you can
I'm
just
happy
throw.
with
You
it.
can
So
practically throw that thing away when you're done with it. Yeah, it was so
yeah,
cheap. Yes,
well, I
yeah,
mean it's yeah. I mean I could just take my paddles off the other ones that are broken, so it's not like I needed
yeah,
that all that extra gear anyway. So
yeah.
and I just throw it right on the charger that's already there for my other Elite, so I can keep swapping them. So and it's really it's what $40 more expensive than a regular controller.
I guess yeah. You
So
looked at it that way, yeah.
So
But
I'm happy with it, but yeah, I'm fully expecting it to break within 2 to 3 years. So
I will say this, like, first off, what you just said was insane. 2 to 3 years. Every elite we had broke within 6 months to a year. Um, Shoulder buttons, sticks, whatever it was. This scuff now, I'm into almost a year and a half, no issues. So, just saying. And they're not a sponsor, like Selden said. Like, I'm just talking from the hip. So. All right, Selden, last story.
last story. Here we go. Naughty Dog are moving on from Uncharted and might be done with The Last of Us too. Oh, I don't think they're done with The Last of Us. With the popularity of the show that just came out, I imagine that we're going to have at least one more Last of Us show,
Mm.
our game come out. Because I just think that the studios
It's
will demand
too
that they,
ripe for the picking.
yeah,
Yes, yeah.
that they're going to want to keep that going. Uncharted, I think it's time to lay that to bed for multiple years or maybe even a generation of consoles. Because I think it was just getting played out. Because it's this, Uncharted has pretty much been the same game from game one
Oh,
through whatever generation that
yes,
they're on
yeah,
right
yep,
now.
yep,
It's that on the rails adventure movie esque,
yep.
choose your adventure, which you don't get to choose adventure at all. You just follow the same path,
Yeah.
but it's just your Indiana Jones type of thing feel to it. Uncharted, good. Last of Us, I see we get us one more, but there's only so much you can do with the hunt, the crawler hider escort missions. And I think
Yeah.
that it should be put to bed too at some point. But I think that it's too hot to put away right now. So
No, yeah, it's definitely a hot IP. The show, like, after 2 episodes, was renewed for a second season. Um, might as well give them a third season to build off of the game. So,
yeah.
yep.
So. But yeah, talk about that show, man. That show is really good. But we'll talk about that in the after show because that's
Yeah.
a show.
All right. Well, then let's wrap up the news. Great stories. If you want us to talk about something next week, give us a call 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@toolplay.com. You can also comment on this episode's thread in the Tool to Play homepage. Sponsors, if we had them, we'd pimp them right here, but we don't, so we won't. But if you want to help support Still Got Game and sponsor us, 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@toolplay.com. Twitter us up. You can find everything Toolplay at twitter.com/toolplay. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_got_game. Facebook the fuck out of us, facebook.com/tool-to-play. You can comment there, follow us, do whatever. We also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/tool-to-play. That is where all of our archive video content sits, whether it's Still Got Game, whether it's Hits Quick Hits, whether it's immature interviews, whether it's Selden's show, doesn't matter. They're all fucking on there like a on demand. So go there, subscribe to youtube.com/toolplay and enjoy all of our archive video content. We need some 5-star reviews in iTunes. So go to iTunes, give us 5 stars. If you have an extra 5 seconds, write a nice review. If you're an Androidiot, they have some kind of store too where you can rate stuff and comment, and definitely do that there. We know Amazon has podcasts, so go there, 5 whatevers, and give us a nice thing. So just hit wherever you get your podcast from, give us a nice review there. We have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/still_got_game. That's one of the many places where we broadcast the show live each and every week. So go there, follow us on Twitch, and help build up this channel, because we are no longer on twitch.tv/tool-to-play because we couldn't multi-stream from there. So we definitely need to build up Still Got Game. We have a Discord channel. That's discord.me/stillgotgame. That's discord.me/stillgotgame. If you want to chat with your favorite celebrities from the show, definitely join our Discord channel, and we'll chat with you all day long, especially Selden.
I am not a celebrity.
All right, so maybe Selden's right. Maybe you can chat with me or Ted. All right, Selden, what do you want to pimp this week?
Really got nothing. You can find me on my socials. You can find me at my Linktree, /Selden007. That's got links to all my other socials, so check me out. And subscribe and like, and pass the show on to somebody else.
Good point. Well, like Selden, I also have a Linktree. That's Linktree/Derek Nolan. That's linktr.ee/Derek Nolan. Not only does it have all of my socials, but it also has all of the shows there as well. So you can go follow us on each and every one of these platforms that we just discussed. I want to remind you all, you can join us each and every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, at youtube.com/tool-to-play, facebook.com/tool-to-play, and twitch.tv/still_got_game. And on that, why don't we wrap this penultimate episode 500 episode up? I am Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
I am Chris Selden, 007 Selden.
And we'll see you next time for episode 500.